Friends, today we will review the 14-point acupressure as a topic. Then at the end of it, I would want to share some of the thinking on managing our energy and growth. You may have already learned it, the 14-point acupressure, when you did your foundation program. We will review the key points from there, and if there are any doubts, you can also ask. Essentially, the 14-point acupressure is a simplified version of a very detailed concept of acupunctures and management of nadis and the energy flow through nadis. There are 72,000 nadis in our body, which is divided into 14 meridians. There are 6 positive meridians, 6 negative meridians, and one in the front, the governing vessel, and one at the back, the conceptual vessel. They have been observed to be linked with various inner organs in our body. For example, the positive meridians are linked with the large intestine, small intestine, gallbladder, urinary bladder, stomach. And on the left-hand side, on the negative meridians, heart, pericardium, the covering of the heart, our lungs, our spleen, kidneys. And then there is one central one in the front from Duriya to through the Agna right up to Muladhara, and then one at the back from Duriya and backside through the spinal column into the, again, joining the Muladhara. Now, the energy flows through various channels called nadis, according to our elders. And where there is a block, it could be constructed in our mind as a small air bubble. Where there is a block, the energy flow gets obstructed. And where there is an obstruction, there is a short circuit, it can be felt as discomfort, pain, disease. And when there is the block in the flow of energy, more life energy gets used to heal that block or through push that block through. And if all the life energy gets wasted immediately, then that can even result in death. That is the concept. So, acupuncture is an Eastern tradition in China, in Southeastern Asia. They have developed over time. You may have heard about the small needles to unblock the blockages in the energy. But Maharishi has studied all of that and given us with our own fingertips to help the flow of energy in a smooth manner and to get rid of discomforts, pain, disease, and so on. So we will look at it in a bit more detail. We will take a research paper published from Aliyar, and I will share that with you, and we will go through the 14 points. Okay. I can also post the link. You can have it for your reference. The first point is we have to, the position is important. We are lying on the floor with our left elbow bent. You're taking the left first 3 fingers of the left hand touch the top of the spine. If you feel through the back of the neck, you will be able to feel 3 points. and then you keep the 3 fingers at the top of the spine in the upper back. This position needs to be maintained throughout. You should not take the hand from this until all the 14 points are covered. And the point 1 is just 1 inch below the point 2, I mean, directly below the chest cavity, as shown in that picture, point 2, just to 1 inch below the sternum. Only the index finger, the tip of the finger should be gently pressing this. And when we do this, we close our eyes, we basically meditate on that point or bring the mind there and remain at that point for 30 seconds. The idea is if you imagine our tip of the fingers as basically a circuit, we are closing the circuit. So the energy is flowing between the point 1 and point 2, point 1 and point 3, like that. So for each point, there is also a linked benefits which are documented in various systems that is there as a reference. But I'll just quickly mention them for just to brush your memories. All of these things are linked with either the nervous system or the inner organs, particularly in the chest and particularly inside the abdomen, as well as the cardiovascular system, the heart system. So the point 2 is just below what is called the sternocostal angle. It is linked to heart, and you can see the benefits there. But it is also, I will give you additional points which we have learned through our senior professors. That point 2 is also referring to the top of the stomach, or the junction between the food tube and the stomach. So it aids the gastric juices, it aids the working of the sphincters, the valves there. And point 3 and 4 are just 1 inch below point 2, and point 4 is 1 inch below point 3. So that is the order. All of these points, only the tip of the index finger, right index finger, should be pressing on that point. And point 3 and 4 are also with the middle and the bottom of the stomach. When we press those points, you may be able to also feel the pulsation. And the idea is we meditate and we assume that the energy is flowing through that circuit between the 2 points, and it is flowing through the organs that are associated with those points. So points 2, 3 and 4 are just in the midline as shown here. Okay. And I will send this link. You can refer. It is on our Vedatri website only. There is quite a lot of other references also at the end for your reference. So point 5 is point 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All of them are to be done in the navel area, the center of the navel. Point 5, you pull the index finger towards the chin, the 12 o'clock position. Point 6 is with your right thumb towards the 6 o'clock position. And point 5 is the beginning of the small intestine, the gallbladder. It can help with healing of ulcers, and it also helps with pancreas secretion, as well as adrenal glands. It's documented. And there are other benefits also in this paper. And point 6, like I said, the right thumb, pull it towards the 6 o'clock position and meditate there for 30 seconds. And that is linked to bladder, urinary bladder, uterus. And if, for prolapse of uterus, menstrual cycles get regulated. So those are all the benefits of point 6. And it also aids with the elimination of waste products and gives, as it says here, energy to the heart as well. Now, point 7 is towards the right shoulder. You pull the umbilicus towards the right shoulder. And point 8 is towards the left shoulder. And then point 7 and 8 are, point 7 is linked to the bottom of the liver, the gallbladder, and point 8 is also linked with spleen and helps with better management of the cholesterol levels as well. And point 9 is again the right index finger in the center of the navel, and the point is to pull it down towards the right thigh. And that point is the joining of the small and the large intestine. And point 10 is on towards the left thigh, and that is linked to the large intestine. It is linked with the retaining of the hydration, and it also aids with the bowel movements. Now, point 12 is the tip of the index finger, just 1 inch below the center of the lowest rib on the, it says left chest, actually it is right chest. And point 13 is the left. That's what we have learned. So point 12, 11 and 12, they are linked with adrenal glands as well as glucose regulation. And there is also some documents referring to better regulation of vitamins A, E, D, and K. And point 13 is 4 fingers outside under the ribs on the right hand side with your thumb. You need to use the thumb for point 13 and 30 seconds meditation. This is also linked with the gallbladder. And there are benefits linked to abdominal pain due to retraction of testicles. It can link with clearing the pain on the back, on the lumbar region, the lower back as well. And then the point 14 is the last point. It is to be done with the right the midpoint, exactly midpoint between the navel and the left groin. And that is also linked to the large intestine, prostate, hernia. They can also benefit those issues as well as what is given there in the table. Now that is, if you do this 30 seconds in 14 points, it will take around 7 minutes. And it is easy to get distracted by thinking something else. But if you focus on the flow of energy, the pulsation, and what organs are there inside in that area, it will direct the mind and the energy flow. And the thinking is that the circuit of energy flow gets really cleared, and it enables the smooth flow of our biomagnetism throughout those different meridians. And it is mainly linked with prevention of heart disease, regulation of blood pressure, as well as sleep disorders. So these are all the benefits of the 14-point acupressure. Normally, this is seen as a very simple process, but when you look into the Varma, there are so many Varma points that are also associated with this. And again, I wonder at Nagarish's simplicity in this. He has taken it and really given it as a concentrated squash. The more we do, the benefits can be actually experienced. I will pause there. If there are any questions, please ask, and then I will share one more slide. I wanted to share. I've been working on this, and there is a very clear link I am finding between the management of energy through meditation and the growth. But before I go into that, I would pause there. If there are any questions, please ask. No? I can't see the chat box. I'll probably stop sharing this. Yes. Yes, that is right. Bodhidharma teaching. There is quite a lot of stories and history behind this. If there are no questions, I will just want to share one more thing, which I have been working on just as a conceptual stage at this stage. But what I am sharing here is, friends, management of lifespan and the energy and growth. All of us, all human beings have a range in terms of the lifespan, and that is set for any living beings. And ordinarily, the whole life, although we have a lifespan, there is a health span, which is the duration we live in good health. And the waves that you are seeing there is what we normally live in, the beta waves. And when the waves increase, that is where the stress levels increase, and the health span also decreases. So that is, if you relate this to the meditation and also various other introspection and physical exercises and kayakalpam, there is a direct association in terms of how the energy levels get managed. And for those of you who are familiar with thermodynamics and the energy principles, which is energy can neither be destroyed nor be created, but can be transformed from one state to the other. If you imagine that as a given set of energy, we can either go to high frequencies and have less health span, or we manage the frequencies through meditation and introspection and physical exercises and kayakalpam, and it certainly helps to relax and reduce the frequency, reduce the amplitude, and to live as close to the human lifespan possible in a very peaceful manner. And likewise, if you just rotate this slide as a vertical slide, you will be able to imagine the growth, human growth, personal growth. And it would become apparent that less the wave frequency is and the less the amplitude is, the more growth it looks to me like we can achieve. So I wanted to share this, and with these words, I will conclude my remarks. And thank you again, Rajan, for giving me the opportunity to share this. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.